Welcome back to the Couch Potato Show. Back again with the boys for episode 43. How we doing?
Phenomenal. Beautiful day outside.
It really is. Even
So
here.
good. So good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Big episode today. We're covering baseball because it's that time of fucking year again.
So excited.
We'll talk a little bit March Madness because it's not March if it's not Madness. So we'll get straight into it. We'll start with some picks. Um, we're doing our MLB divisions. We got Cy Young picks, MVP picks, our World Series picks, with opening day starting on Thursday. Um, so, Frank, I will start it off with you. Top of the list, AL East. Who you got?
Come on. I'm taking the Yanks. Best team in this division. Best team in the American League. That pitching staff's a little questionable, but
It could show up.
listen, there's definitely a world where Kluber is like decent. I don't expect Kluber to be great because he's just not going to do that. But he can be decent, and I think Ty Young is a bounce back kind of guy. He's had two Tommy Johns, which are tough. But then again, the injuries are coming already. You got Zach Britton hurt, Voigt's hurt already. So it's just the same old shit. But that being said, there's still a top two team in the American League undisputed. So you gotta take him here.
Eric, who you got?
Yeah, I'm a homer. We know this. It's going to be the Yankees. I am not as low in the pitching staff as Frank is. I think we have some serious potential. I think Kluber's ceiling is higher than Frank is expecting as of now. But once again, the injuries are always the thing. You got to worry about that. But I really think I could really see this pitching staff gelling together not since 2009 have we had a pitching staff I think has the potential to drag. What was that?
The ceiling is definitely there, but the floor is in the basement.
Or
You are so right. That's the unfortunate thing, but my God, it's going to be an exciting season to watch our starting pitching rotation. It's crazy. It could be honestly, I feel as though, excluding Cole, we have top 10 pitcher potential, Cy Young threats in our rotation, multiple. I truly believe this. We also the floor is there, as Frank said.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about it once Tyler makes his pick, but it's a whole discussion.
Yeah, this is one that I was discussing with you guys. I had one division that I was thinking of going really bold. I was thinking of pulling the plug on the Blue Jays just because.
Nah, man, that pitching staff is like non-existent.
I know, but they're so good. But yeah, I got to go with the Yankees. They're just all around. I know the injuries are going to come, but that depth is just better than anybody in baseball. Even the Dodgers, they don't have the depth that the Yankees have. So
the pitching depth is definitely there, but they don't have here's my thing with the Yankees. They're a very good regular season team. Like I could easily see this team winning like 100 games, 103 games. But once you get in the postseason, it's like who's your number two starter come a postseason game? Because you don't know if Kluber's going to be there. You don't know what you're going to get out of Ty Young. He's got a whole new arm action. It throws a little short arm, which I don't like, but we'll see what happens. Monty's only okay. You can't rely on Seb. He's come off a Tommy John.
Even Herman is going to be there. I mean, the pitching.
Herman's a piece of shit.
The pitching will be here.
Piece of shit, that guy. Listen, if he wants to pitch well, I'm cool with it, but I still don't like him. He's still a piece of shit.
I know. All right. AL Central, Frank, who you got?
This is my one little bold pick, but not really. I'm going to go with the White Sox. They're just a really young team. I love watching them play. They got that pitching staff's really good. Keuchel, Giolito's a stud. And Lance Lynn, who throws like 90% fastball, still gets people out. It astounds me. And that lineup is really good. They got Jose Abreu, who won the MVP last year. Tim Anderson's a stud. They lost Eloy Jimenez for this, I think, like 6 months, which is killer. But I still really like this team. I think the Twins will end up winning it, but I'd rather just root for the White Sox because the Twins bore me because they don't win the postseason, so they bore me. So I'm going to root for the White Sox instead.
Eric, who you got?
Yeah, call me crazy, but I don't think saying the White Sox is that bold. I was high on them last season. I think, like Frank said, they're a great young team. Obviously, you got the MVP, reigning MVP, and Jose Abreu. So many players. That's another rotation I find extremely interesting. I think the story in Chicago might just be that starting rotation because I have a lot of faith in that lineup. I think it's a safe lineup. It's a young lineup. You could argue the inexperienced angle. But I don't know. I just feel like they showed flashes.
That team could just hit, man. I don't know what they could just hit.
It could. They showed flashes last season. Just watching a handful of games of the White Sox last season, I was watching that team, and I just something there, man. There's something there. It's an it factor. You can't exactly put words to. I'm really high on the White Sox. And I even just checked. There's slight favorites over the Twins to win the division via FanDuel Sportsbook, minus 120 compared to the Twins plus 120. So no, it's going either way, but I'll favor the White Sox here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the White Sox too, just because they do have that pitching staff that I don't know if the Twins can consistently carry out throughout the rest of the regular season. And the players that the White Sox have, I mean, they're just getting better and better every year. So I think I also really love Lucas Giolito. So I think they'll pull that one out.
They also just added Liam Hendricks, who's one of the best relief pitchers in baseball the last
No
2
one's
seasons.
talking about that.
So come on, Mike, this is a really good team.
Yeah. AL West, Frank, who you got?
This division kind of sucks, low key. On the down low, kind of sucks. I don't know why. I just don't like this division. I'm gonna take the Astros though, just because the Astros, this entire team, the entire division honestly got worse. It's like the lost Hendricks and Semien. The Angels are the Angels. We just talked about it before the show. They find a way to screw it up. The Mariners are good, but they're too young. The Rangers aren't even a real baseball team. So you got to go with the Astros. They might have lost Springer, and they don't really have a pitcher besides Zach Greinke, but I think it's just the best of the worst at this point. So I'm going to go with the Astros.
Eric, what do you got?
I have hesitation with making this pick because Tyler Maines, the genius that he is, he made the perfect comparison, called the Angels essentially the MLB's version of the Cowboys for the NFL. Always a good household name, rosters, few spots, you know. But I'm going with the Angels this season. I think it's got to come together.
You flipped on me, Eric. I took them last year. You're going to gang on them this year?
I know. Listen.
Bit me last year. Bad. Bit me
I
last year.
understand the hesitation, and it's, I don't know. Like, I'm looking once again to reference the FanDuel. They're only plus 300 to win the division. That's middle of the pack. So they're saying they got a shot. I think they should be even lower, but I don't know. Something my gut just tells me this is because, you know, the Cowboys have won a division title or two recently. It's the sort of thing you could only go so many seasons with having a Mike Trout, a Shohei Ohtani, not to mention both of them on your roster, and not start hanging some banners. I'm not
that pitching staff though. They don't do anything to help that pitching staff. They never sign anybody.
I don't know. And give me their 1, 2, 3. What is Ohtani? Who else is in?
It's Ohtani. It's Bundy. They missed out on Tanaka. They missed out on Bauer. I don't even know after that.
It's a shot in the dark, really.
Andrew Heaney might still play for them. That's the point. I don't even know who's on the pitching staff. I have no idea.
Yeah. And I get the hesitation, but I don't know. Maybe I've been watching too much NBA, too superstar driven in the noggin right now. But the thought of Mike Trout, I love that guy. Who does
they got to stop wasting his career, man. It's pissing me off. I told you guys before the show, the Angels piss me off.
It happens. It happens with stars, man. They're bound to one city, and then they piss their career away. No rings. It happens.
It's so annoying because he's literally the best baseball player like we're gonna have in this generation, and it's just like there's such a wasting his career.
I'm gonna make this division. I'm gonna make this division interesting. Frank said that this is really up in the air, and I'm gonna make it really up in the air. I'm gonna go with the A's.
I picked them last year, I think. I think you picked them last year, right? Didn't you pick them last year?
I did, and they won.
They did win the division.
Very happy. Yeah, I love the A's. They got Chapman, Olsen. That infield is just on another level. That entire lineup is really slept on.
No Semien.
Who cares?
Dude, he was top 3 in MVP a couple years ago.
I know Semien's
good.
I think that was kind of a fluky year. He's really good. Don't get me wrong, but he's not gonna.
The big Elvis Andrews guy, because that's who they traded for.
Elvis Andrews is somebody that they can plug and play, and he'll fill that gap. He may not live up to what Semien was, but he'll do the job.
Am I also the only one that thought Elvis Andrews was like 45 years old?
He's up there in his 50s or 60s.
He's like 30, I think, or something like that.
He's been around for forever. That's why.
Yeah, I keep thinking that guy's like stupid old, but he's not.
But still, I think this team is. I think all around this team is still better than the Astros. On paper, they're not better than the Angels, but when you put them on the diamond, they're better than anybody. They're better than the Angels for sure. So
they're frustrating too. They don't get anybody either. They just trade people away.
Yeah, but they're still good.
Yeah, but it pisses me off because they could be like a top team in baseball, but they never bring anybody in. They just wait till their stars that they develop get up out of contract years, and they just trade them away for more prospects that could develop and then trade again. It's the same cycle in Oakland all the time. They did it with Donaldson. Who else? They've traded a bunch of players. I forget. They lost Simeon because they don't sign the contracts. It's the same. It's the same stuff.
All right, let's go to the NL. NL East. Eric, we'll start with you. Who you got? NL East.
What are we doing? NL East?
NL East, National League.
Let me get my old trusty notepad out here. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So, much like the Angels, a team that can't seem to get out of their own way is the New York Mets. However, once again, I'm riding that train. I just think they made some great additions this offseason, I believe, to the bullpen and to the lineup, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think
Lindor, Trevor May went there.
They're here to play. The Mets, this is not your father's Mets. This
No.
is a legitimate Met team. And I truly believe they'll win the division.
This is your grandfather's Mets team.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mets too. I think they put the right. It's every offseason. Oh, the Mets are back. And they don't sign the right guys. They
Every damn year.
One of those like fluky guys, and they never show up.
Everybody thought they were going to win the division when they signed Cespedes, and he was terrible.
Yeah, I think this is a different year. I think they have the pieces. They have the youngsters, the Pete Alonsos, the Confortos, and the McNeils. And then obviously they just brought in Francisco Lindor. So that lineup is already stacked. The pitching staff, we all know what the pitching staff is going to be. DeGrom is going to go out there and he'll give you 15, 20 wins easily. So I think the Mets, they might run away with the division. I don't know if the Braves are going to be as. I don't know if the Braves are going to show up.
Braves are good, man.
It's those Atlanta teams, man. They never show up. They never fucking show up when it really.
Dude, the Braves were one game away from making the World Series last season.
And that's one game that they really fucking needed and couldn't show up. So
yeah, well, you
never know what's going to happen.
Hindsight's 2020.
I really like the Mets, though. All right, Frank, who you got?
I'm going to take the Braves. I don't like rooting for the Mets. This lineup is stacked. They got Freeman, Acuna, Zuna's back, Ozzie Albies. Pache had a good season last year. He's not the best hitter, but he's had a good season last year. And you guys forget about this rotation. They added Charlie Morton. They got Max Fried. It's just like a really good team. I can't pick against the Braves because the Mets are going to find a way to screw it up. It's just like the Angels. They on paper, they're like, oh, that's – because that lineup's, like, incredible. Like, I don't know if you guys have, like, looked at the lineup 1 through 9. They're legit. But, like, they always find a way to screw it up. So I'm going to stick with the Braves. I just think they're a better team, in my opinion.
All right, Eric, NL Central.
NL Central, once again. Sorry. NL Central. I'm going with the Cardinals. I feel like they're the safe pick. They're sort of the Spurs of the MLB. I feel like they're always sort of in it. It's a great organization.
It's so true.
You can't go wrong with St. Louis.
So true.
Yeah, Frank gets me. They're
I literally have it in my notes. I say the Cardinals always find their way into the playoffs. You never think they're very good, but they find their way in the playoffs.
They're not going out there playing sub 500 baseball. It's just not happening. That's an organization that just does things the right way. Going with the Cardinals once again confidently.
Yeah, I got the same pick. I got St. Louis just because there's no one else in that division that I could see possibly winning that. I mean, they picked up Arenado, so that already puts them way further than they were last year. The Brewers are taking a step down big time. I don't think the Reds lost Bauer, so
the Reds are folding.
The Reds are the Reds, and they'll be back at the bottom of the barrel soon. But and then there's the Cardinals.
And there's the Pirates.
And then there's the Pirates. That's what I meant. And then there's the Pirates. So there's really no one else in that division that can really compete with the Cardinals this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Cardinals. I forget what I compared it to, Tyler. Maybe you can remind me because it was I compared it to the East region for March Madness, where like any 3 teams or 4 teams can win the division, but I don't really see them doing anything else. The Cardinals are the best team in this division, but it's because they have Arenado, Goldie. I think Flaherty's gonna have a huge season. Flaherty's gonna have a great season, but I just don't see them advancing very far in the playoffs. But Cardinals are the Cardinals, so they're gonna find their way in the playoffs somehow. And I think it's the best infield duo I've seen in a while with Goldie and Arenado. So yeah. I'm not going to pick against them.
All right, Eric, NL West, who you got?
I'll go with the Dodgers.
No one's getting spicy. Okay.
Yeah, right. We know it's the Dodgers. Come on, guys.
That's it. Dodgers.
Is it gonna be
Then it is
something
not.
else? You think?
No, you just didn't explain yourself. I mean, you don't really have to.
If you know anything about baseball, it's the Dodgers. It's come on, guys.
All right. Well, maybe you can teach me a little something about baseball because I'm gonna go with the Padres.
Bold.
Yeah,
Dude, that's so bold. All right.
Listen, I think Fernando Tatis kind of dropped off at the end of the year last year, but I think he's gonna really pick it up. I think given him that full healthy season, and then the rest of that lineup, even the pitching staff got a lot better. I mean, the Padres did some work in the offseason, and I think it's really gonna pay off.
Nah, I'm taking the Dodgers, man. I can't do it. That pitching staff's too good. Clayton Kershaw's a generational pitcher. Walker Buehler is going to be a stud this year again. He's one of the best young pitchers in baseball. Trevor Bauer is coming off the Cy Young year. And that lineup is just crazy. MVP Mookie Betts. Corey Seager is a great shortstop. Justin Turner came back. I don't know. I just can't pick against the Dodgers. I can't do it. So.
All right. I'll start off with the World Series picks. World Series matchup. I'm gonna go Yankees Padres. Again, I know you guys are probably gonna go 1-2 and Yankees Dodgers, but I really like the Padres. I'm really high on the Padres this year. Sick and tired of seeing the Dodgers in the World Series all the time. As much as I would love a Yankees Dodgers World Series, I would equally almost as much love a Yankees Padres World Series. And I got Yankees coming out on that one, number 28. Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
Woo, Tyler. Oh my God. But
All
yes, I do have Yankees Dodgers. It's the best two teams in baseball. I think the Yankees are, when healthy, they compete with the Dodgers. When they're not healthy, I still think they're the best team in the American League. And the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. You can't even – they just are. And I'm going to take the Dodgers winning it. Like I said before, the Yankees don't have a postseason pitching staff unless Corey Kluber can somehow be like somewhat of what he used to be. And even then, I don't really know. Tyone's got a whole new arm angle. It just scares me. The whole thing just irks me. But I think the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. And I think they're going to win again because they've tallied up their losses. So they're going to get a couple wins in there before they fall off again.
Eric, who you got?
I get it. I get why you picked those two teams to be in the World Series. There's a reason I picked the Dodgers without hesitation. But just please go on this journey with me, this creative journey, journey of imagination.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay.
I wasn't alive quite yet, but in the year of 2000, a special event happened, boys. It was a special event, a cultural event. New York, the greatest city in the world. Not anymore, but it's separate conversation. Back when it was the greatest city in the world. It was Yankees Mets in the World Series. That was the year, right? 2000. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you're right.
It's happening again, boys. Yankees Mets World Series.
Oh, that would be the greatest.
Wouldn't it?
Oh my God.
To put this. Oh my God.
They don't even have to win. Like the Yankees don't have to win. That would just be incredible.
Oh, well, you have to win if it's Yankees Mets.
Nah, dude, that'd just be fun to watch. I think they would win if they played the Mets, but still be fun.
George Steinbrenner isn't alive anymore, so you don't have to win. But I just remember hearing the stories. Yeah, from the 2000s, professional baseball outfielders, pop flies would come to them and be like, "Oh my God, if I drop this, George is gonna kill me." That was so amusing.
Yeah,
hearing
crazy,
Paul O'Neill say that and hearing everyone say that was so amusing. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, these Mets are for real. This is not your father's Mets. As Tyler so wisely spoke, it is your grandfather's Mets. They're here to play. The Yankees, it seems like every year, especially recently, they're getting a tough time getting over that extra hurdle going to the World Series. But I think this is the year. I think that pitching staff can be somewhat special. I think
You're so much higher on their pitching staff than I am.
I am.
Pitching staff scares me so bad.
I don't know. We'll see. And we gave our winners too, right?
Yeah. Don't pick the Mets to win, Eric. Come on.
Listen.
I can't live like that, Eric. I can't live in a world where the Mets win the World Series.
Frank, do teams I like succeed? That's
almost never.
Okay.
Almost never.
The Mets are going to win. It's going to happen. Mets are going to win the World Series against the Yankees. Game 7 too. It's going to be an awesome
Game 7. Garrett Cole, DeGrom. Ooh.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. There's a world where I would like to see that.
It'll be fantastic. It's going to be a hell of a season.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think just playing a full 162 is just going to be so much fun.
No.
Oh yeah.
Too long
I
of a
miss it.
season. Too long of a season.
Eric, you're not a 162 guy? I love the grind of a season.
Yeah. Look up the definition of the word grind, Frank. I know you kids use it differently. But it's a grind. Ugh. Oh yeah, what day of the week is it? Wednesday. This work grind. Oh my goodness. It's just going slow, you know? Come on.
Too slow for
162?
you?
Nonsense. Nonsense.
I don't know. Well, I love watching baseball. Not a lot of people. I don't know. Well, I'm not saying you don't, obviously, but a lot of people don't like the 6 months of baseball. I happen to love it. You know?
You love watching baseball more than I do. You love watching baseball more than I love looking at myself in the mirror, Frank. You're in love with
It's
baseball.
true. Dude, it's so bad.
Right? Isn't it, Tyler?
I'm such a baseball nerd. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Um.
Either way, I'm excited for this season. I really am.
Oh, so excited.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, nerd.
See you at the stadium on opening day.
All right, nerd. Who you got? AL MVP.
I hate myself, but I'm going Trout. This guy is he's just too good not to win it again. And he was, I think, third in MVP voting last season or something like that. And he's like, "Well, I had a bad year." Come on. He's too. Yeah, he did. He didn't win the MVP, so he had a bad year. But if you look at this guy's stat page, it's ridiculous. He's top 5 in MVP voting every single season.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna roll with it.
Eric.
I'm gonna go Aaron Judge. I think
There's always one of us that picks Judge.
I know.
Or no, I think last year I picked Giancarlo before he got hurt the entire season.
I picked Glaber. It was
Again.
worked out.
Oh, okay. So nobody picked Judge last, but yeah, we picked.
If we're playing offensively, Glaber can win an MVP, but he's got to play two sides of the diamond, so that won't work out.
That's another thing, man, about the Yankees. How many MVP candidates do they have? They have so many MVP candidates. Well, yeah,
Garrett Cole can win an MVP.
Yeah, Judge could win one.
Judge can win one. Glaber, I can see win one if he plays decent defense.
We haven't even mentioned DJ LeMahieu. You know,
DJ LeMahieu.
Come on. But yeah, listen, it's Judge's season, man. You won't. The home runs are going to be off the charts this year. He's reaching 50. Watch.
You should already have one. Freaking short Altuve.
Yeah, there you go. This is the year, but we all know it's narrative driven. I'm a big believer in the narrative, and once we see
big narrative guy.
Big narrative guy. New York, it's a massive market, people. We're going to get calls during the regular season, on both sides, Yankees and Mets, because they want this to happen. Not quite NFL rigged, but it's, come on, people. They want to make money.
It's true.
New York sells.
It does. I'm gonna go basic. I'm gonna go Mike Trout too. If we're picking MVPs, we already know that Mike Trout's he's automatically in that top 5.
He's got to be top 5. No matter what, he's gonna be top 5. If he's on the field and not hurt, he's gonna be top 5.
So even when he's hurt, he still manages to get up there because of how good of a season he had before he got hurt. So,
and Eric, if you want your Angels to win the division, they're going to might try to play like an MVP.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yep, that's who I got. Eric, who do you got Frank, who you got NL MVP?
This one I got a little bit more creative, not crazy though. I'm gonna go Juan Soto. That guy should have won it if he's healthy the whole year last year. He wins the MVP. He had a fake positive COVID test, and he got hurt. And it was just a mess. But he was leading the league in majority of the offensive categories last season. And this guy, he's just like a stud because he doesn't get the national coverage a lot. Well, with major baseball fans, everyone knows him, but because he plays in Washington, no one outside of avid baseball people know who he is. But he's a freaking stud. This guy's unbelievable. So I'm gonna go Juan Soto.
Eric, who you got?
I'm tipping my hand here for the Cy Young, but it's gonna be DeGrom. Jacob DeGrom's ridiculous. I know.
We're picking MVP. Did I make the wrong pick? Did I mess it up?
No, yeah, we are picking MVPs, right?
You said Cy Young.
Yeah, I'm tipping my hand in the Cy Young pick. Sorry if I cut out there for a second.
Oh, okay. I heard Cy Young and then DeGrom. I was like, what are we picking here?
Pitchers can win MVP, right? That's not.
Well, no, I thought I misheard you. I didn't hear the in between part. All I heard was Cy Young and then DeGrom, and I was like, oh, did I pick the wrong thing?
But yeah.
Sorry.
So once again, narrative driven. Mets are gonna have a great year.
MVP and Cy Young, Jacob DeGrom. Okay. Verlander did it, didn't he? So.
Yeah.
Sure. 2013.
Sure.
I think that's right, actually. Or did Miggy win in 2013? Might have been Miggy. I don't know.
I think Miggy was 2012 because he won the Triple Crown that year, right?
Yeah. That team was so good. Damn.
Right? Ridiculous.
Sure.
Yes.
Max Scherzer.
DeGrom.
All right, I got Fernando Tatis Jr. I think the Padres. Listen, if
One of us did it.
Thank you.
Good job, Tyler. That was my second choice.
Thank you. I think if the Padres are gonna have to, if they want to go out and win the division and beat the Dodgers, they're gonna need Tatis to be a god. And he showed us what he can do last year. I think he'll do the same thing this year. His defense is phenomenal. His offense is. I don't even need to talk about it. You already know that it's there. So if he puts it all together, I think he's better than anybody in the NL. I think he's better than anybody the Dodgers have if he can put it all together. So,
well, Mookie Betts is pretty good.
he could be better than Ben. I think.
No, Mookie Betts is pretty good, man.
I know, but I think
now that he's not a Red Sox, I can say it. That guy's freaking good.
I know. All right. Eric, who you got? AL Cy Young.
AL Cy Young. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. What's it pronounced? Lucas Giolito? Lucas Giolito.
The Italian.
Come on. It's going to happen. Yankees are meeting the White Sox in the ALCS if anybody cares. That's what's going to happen.
I like that.
So, yeah, he's going to be the reason for it. FanDuel, that might be something you want to bet on FanDuel. I don't know what his odds are, but I can't imagine.
They're by far the best two teams, especially with the Twins being the Twins in the postseason. They just fall apart.
Yeah, both. Honestly, I love it. Yeah.
Frank, who you got?
I'm gonna root for my guys. I'm taking Garrett Cole again. Come on, full season last year, he wins it. The ERA was on the down low. It was dropping.
That's the thing that scares me, though. The ERA.
Gotta root for your guys.
I know. ERA, the home runs scare me.
Listen. If you look at his career stats, beginning of the season, he's only an above average pitcher. But if you do throughout the rest of the season, the beginning of the second half and through the end of the season, he's a stud. He's incredible. He's best pitcher in baseball usually. So it takes him a little bit to warm up the tank. And 60-game season, he couldn't do that. So I expect him to have a better season than he did last year.
Too soon, Frank. Don't say tank. Too soon.
Sorry, my bad. But I'm gonna root for my guys. Come on.
Listen, great minds think alike. So I'm gonna go with Lucas Giolito too. I think the White Sox.
Come on, you guys don't root for your guys.
The home run.
Pick for the MVP, dummy.
The home run.
You did.
Listen. Everyone knows Garrett Cole. Just hear me out. Everyone knows Garrett Cole is going to let up home runs. That's just who he is. He'll go out there. He'll give you 7 innings. He'll let up a run, and that one run is going to be a home run. And they don't give.
Well, that's because he looks at the 7, 8, 9 guys in the lineup. Goes, look at these chumps, and he gives us a home run to the freaking 8 hitter every start. And it's like, can you stop doing that, Garrett?
Listen. So it's going to happen. We all know it's going to happen. He'll throw out. He'll go out there. He'll get wins, but we all know what's going to happen. He'll let up home runs to some schmucks. Lucas Giolito is going to go out this year, and he's going to have an unbelievable year. I'm calling it now. The White Sox are going to be unbelievable this year. And Giolito's easily their ace. So,
2 years ago, everyone was like, Giolito's a bust. They should just trade him away.
Giolito's real.
Come on.
All right, let's get creative. NL Cy Young. Eric, who you got?
Jacob DeGrom, as I said, that guy's the best pitcher in baseball. Cole's awesome. Giolito, my newfound bestie, love him too. Jacob DeGrom, best player in baseball? Maybe.
No, pump the brakes. It's still Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout.
I picked him for the division. Believe you me, I know he's the best. But best pitcher in baseball.
Oh my God.
DeGrom,
division.
Who are you more intimidated? Intimidation is the wrong word. He looks like a bit of he doesn't look like the toughest man in the world. But the point is, he's a great pitcher. He knows how to handle that ball, man.
I'm intimidated by the division.
That NL East division is intimidating, I'll tell you that.
Guys, whoever posts the division picks, say #division.
Oh, definitely hashtag
do it. Run it up.
How do you spell that, Eric? How do you spell division?
DIVI division. SH division.
Okay.
No, it's division. Shouldn't it be like an SZ or something?
Ah,
Diviz. No, Viz. David. I don't know.
I know what you're talking about, Mains. I'm not spelling expert, as I revealed, but yeah. Well, it's
None of us
similar.
really are.
We'll work it out.
Figure it out. We got it.
No.
All right, Frank.
Smart guys here. I went boring for the AL, so I'm going to make it interesting for the NL. I think Jacob deGrom wins it, but I'm not going to pick him. I'm going to pick Jack Flaherty. The guy's going to have a huge season. I think he's easily a top 3 Cy Young candidate. And deGrom didn't win last year. I don't remember why. There was a reason. I think he got hurt. Maybe he gets hurt again. Not wishing for that, obviously, because that guy's a stud. But I like Jack Flaherty.
Frank, I love the pick. I must say that's a quality pick.
Thank you. I said last year. I said next year I'm picking Jack Flaherty. I'm sticking to my word.
All right.
Man of his word.
How that goes.
Yeah, well, it could be like Corey Kluber 2 years ago that I picked, and he got hurt in the first start. He broke his arm and he was done.
Yeah.
That was.
Well, that was a cute pick. Good props for you. Props to you for getting creative. But me and Eric are going to take our free point. Jacob deGrom. Just Sharpie.
Listen, why are we acting like this? He didn't win it last year.
Because he's throwing 103 in the 6th inning in a spring training game.
So does Jordan Hicks. He ain't gonna win a Cy Young. I'll pay you $2 if Eric can tell me what team Jordan Hicks is on.
Yeah, but Jordan Hicks isn't Jacob deGrom.
I'm just saying, just because he throws 103 doesn't mean he's going to Cy Young.
Yeah, Frank, don't you see that's like saying like, oh, well, Francis Ngannou is so powerful, but so is Mike Tyson. So why aren't they the same level of boxer? Just because you have one specific.
I'm just messing around. It's going to be deGrom. What am I, stupid? I'm going to make it interesting. That's boring. What am I, an idiot?
But listen, let me tell you, I still love the Flaherty pick. I love it. If it's not deGrom, Flaherty might be 3rd or 4th in line, sincerely. And once again,
I definitely see Flaherty probably finish 2nd and 3rd.
I could so see it. Seriously.
And then pencil in whoever on the Dodgers for number 2.
Well, I'd probably go deGrom, Buehler, Flaherty as my top 3 candidates. But I didn't want to pick Walker Buehler because that'd be a Dodgers pick.
I'll say frickin' deGrom, Buehler, Bauer. That's honestly how I'm feeling.
I don't like Bauer. If you look at his stats last year, he pitched against like some of the worst hitting teams.
He did pitch against like terrible teams.
Like the Reds, the Brewers weren't good last year, and then who was bad in the AL Central?
It's a fair stat, padded stats.
Everybody was bad.
Who was bad? I forgot. Everyone was bad in the Indians. He pitched against a couple times. I think the Indians lineup sucked, and it's even sucky now. It's worse now.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, home run.
Stop padding a little bit.
Home run champ. Eric, who you got?
Aaron Judge.
Love it.
A lot of those long balls. 50 this
Love
season.
it.
Look at
50 bomb. Wow.
50 on the dot.
On the dot. Okay.
On the dot.
Oh, Loyal's down 8. Quick update. Sorry, ignore me. My turn?
Yep.
Sorry, I wasn't listening for top 10 seconds. I'm going to go Christian Yelich. That guy is too talented to have another bad year. He's so good. I think he comes back. I think the only chance the Brewers really have of making the playoffs in general is if Christian Yelich plays like a home run champion. So I'm going to go a little creative because this baseball season is kind of not boring, but I think everybody kind of knows who's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go a little interesting.
I'm going to go – I've been big on the youngsters today with Giolito and Tatis. I'm going to go with another one. I'm going to go with Ronald Acuna Jr. I think Acuna, he's had really good seasons, but he's never finished well. I think he'll get off to a really hot start. He already has in the spring. He's raking in the spring, if you haven't seen.
I could easily see him hitting 40 homers and stealing 30 bases.
Yeah, he'll be up there definitely in terms of home runs. I don't know if he's going to win it, but if he has that breakout year that we've all been waiting for, where he could win an MVP.
Braves win that division.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good. I got Acuna winning the home run champ. So those are baseball picks. Not as boring as I thought it was.
Great year. I don't know. I thought you guys were going to go Braves for the East. I surprised you're rooting for the Mets.
I think I'm not. No one said I'm rooting for the Mets. I never said I was rooting for the Mets.
When you pick a team to win, you kind of got to root for them.
Frank, you don't realize
the Dodgers to win the World Series.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Rooting for the Dodgers?
Rooting for the Dodgers, Tyler. Boom.
Listen, oh my God. I'll never root for the Dodgers. Well, I take that back. I did root for them last year because I want them to win. I felt bad. because they kept losing in the World Series.
You want the Rays to win, so
Least team. Listen, that ALCS last season, absolute torture.
yeah.
2 last teams I want to see in the ALCS were in the ALCS last season.
Believe me, I didn't watch a single fucking pitch of it.
Yeah, well, as I disposed earlier, I'm a baseball nerd, so I had to watch. It just wasn't fun.
Yeah. Well, I will say this before we get into some UFC and some NASCAR, because the Yankees are so good that they took up my AL East, my AL team in the World Series and all that. The Blue Jays this year are going to be very good. And I know I kind of almost picked them to win the AL East, but I didn't. They're one of those teams, kind of like the Rays last year, where if they put it together, they can go out and easily win a World Series.
I don't know. That pitching staff scares me. Everyone besides Ryu is not really an actual starter.
But if
their bullpen isn't great either.
They're in the hunt come deadline time and they go out and get somebody. I mean, that's all they need.
Yeah, but I think they're going to win a wild card spot, but then you got to face someone like, I don't know, the Twins maybe, if they don't win the Central. And they could win that, but I guess then they play the Yankees and see if they're the best team in the AL, like everybody says they will be.
I think if they go out and they get a wild card spot and they have to play the Angels or the Astros or something, I don't even know. They could beat the White Sox in a wild card series.
Yeah, they could beat the Twins too.
Yeah, could happen.
Maybe not the White Sox. It's a 1-game playoff again because that White Sox Giolito might give them trouble. But
that's true.
Really screwed is like the Mets if they don't win that division, because then you're like stuck playing the Padres in a wild card game or something. And the Padres too, like they're not gonna, if they don't win their division, they're gonna be playing the Mets with Jacob deGrom. I take it back. The Padres are more screwed because they're gonna play deGrom if the Mets don't win their division. So,
yeah, but
I don't think
the Mets have a better chance of winning their division than the Padres do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Frank, this is interesting. Well, who would you say is the better chance, Frank? Because obviously you picked against both of them, so I feel like you're the most qualified.
Better chance. The Mets. I will say this: the Padres are more talented, but I think the Mets do have a better chance, just because I see a world where that lineup just plays where they're supposed to be playing, and that bullpen got better. I don't know. I don't think either of them do. Obviously, I picked against both of them, but I do think the Mets have a better chance. Or this might be me just being like the Mets look sexy this year. Like they got Lindor, they got McCann. They just have sexy picks. They got a lot of pickups. But yeah, I'll go with the Mets.
I like it, but who are you gonna bet against? The Atlanta or Dodgers? You know?
Yeah, it's like that. Like the Dodgers are better. They're the best team in the baseball, so you can't really bet against the Dodgers. But the Padres are more talented than the Mets. I don't know.
No, I got you. I do.
They're so much more talented than the Mets, but I don't know. That Padres lineup is just like crazy. Hosmer, Tatis, Machado, Drake Cronenworth had a big year last season. I don't know. So tough.
It'll be interesting.
I just see a world where the Mets win that division. But that division's a bloodbath, though. All those teams are good.
Yeah, but they're not. I think there's a significant drop-off after. I think if you have the Mets 1, the Braves 2, I think there's a big drop-off there. I don't think the Phillies.
I don't know. That Phillies lineup is really good.
They're
and
good.
Zach Wheeler and Aaron Nola pitched really well last season. And even the Marlins are good because they've got a lot of pitching.
The Phillies have a negative bullpen.
They got better. They added Archie Bradley. They got a couple other guys. Their names are slipping my mind, but
they still
that lineup, Tyler. The Phillies lineup's really good. Like Bryce Harper went from severely overrated to completely underrated in like half the season.
Listen, lineups win you games. Your starters win you divisions, and your bullpens win you championships. And if they don't have starters,
I'm not saying the Phillies are going to win the championship. I'm just saying the Phillies are a good team.
I know. I'm talking about division. They got Nola, and they have Wheeler. Wheeler still needs to be Wheeler. He could just go out there and be a dud. So they don't have anybody else.
And the Nationals' top 3 starting pitchers are really good. Scherzer, Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin are good. They got Juan Soto. And even the Marlins have a lot of good young pitching. So that division is really good.
It'll be interesting. I still think there's a big drop off though.
I don't know. I could see the Mets winning that division, but like their win total would only have to would be like 90 games because they're just going to beat up on each other and their win total is going to be diminished. And it'll look like, oh, the division's not good. When in reality, it's just the teams beating up on each other and they'll win like a huge number of games, So.
All right.
I know it's probably the AL East too.
I know Eric's chomping at the bit. So, Eric, why don't you give us the UFC rundown for tonight?
I'm so excited. It's going to be so fun. Stipe Miocic.
Every single fucking weekend.
Yeah, right? It's fantastic.
Greatest fight of all time.
Yeah, but listen, there's something to be said, and this isn't me pulling stuff out of my ass, people. We know heavyweights in combat sports, the phrase baddest man on the planet, that's a thing. That's been a thing for a long time. And who's a badder man? Somebody who's really good with their fists or somebody who's really good with their fists, their grappling, their submissions. You know who the badder man is. Come on, a real fight breaks out. Who you gonna bet on? The boxer or the frickin' MMA star? We know, yeah, but once again, separate conversation for a separate day. But Francis Ngannou, the past 4 fights, 4 knockouts in the first round. You can't make this stuff up. And 2 fights before that, lost to Stipe Miocic. Worth noting, though, Stipe, I believe, was 10 pounds heavier, so he was able to grapple. And he had a semi-difficult time holding Francis down in that fight. And now he's 10 pounds heavier, or lighter, rather. So, you got to keep that into account. However, quickness, foot movement, that's a big thing against a big swinger like Ngannou. So I'd almost say the trade-off is worth it. History tells us something. It always does. Stipe won the fight. Stipe's coming off of a best 2 out of 3 series with Daniel Cormier, really. He beat Daniel Cormier twice. In my humble opinion, I would say that series was really for the greatest heavyweight in MMA history. You could make the argument Fedor Emelianenko. I think you could make the argument Cain Velasquez. But man, Stipe Miocic is just so well-rounded. His striking is ridiculous. Still underrated as the heavyweight champion of the world. Very bizarre. But he embodies what it means to be a mixed martial artist. We say this a lot. I say this about a lot of guys. I really do, just because the sport has come such a long way. But I don't know, Francis, I'm just going back and forth in my head right now. Francis has been training with Extreme Couture. And if you know anything about MMA, Randy Couture, one of the best wrestlers ever, one of the best college wrestlers ever, even an Olympian. So truly his wrestling has to have gotten better, right? But I don't know. I think it's one of those classic tales of Stipe survives the first round or two. Francis is going to be in a lot of trouble. And I've seen some expert picks, and a lot of people are saying Stipe finishes him with ground and pound or submission, which surprises me personally. But I am going with the champion. I am going with Stipe Miocic. It'll be a really, really fun fight, but wrestling is the ultimate equalizer before jiu-jitsu came in the picture in early UFC days. But regardless, wrestlers could just beat up boxers. It's just how it's always been. Not disrespecting Francis's wrestling as much as I'm complimenting Stipe's ability to grapple. I think he still gets the job done. I think we will see a bit more active ground and pound too. No stand-ups are going to happen. He's going to have a semi-difficult time keeping him down, but I don't know. Stipe Miocic is just too well-rounded, best heavyweight in MMA history. But to say Francis Ngannou only has a puncher's chance would truly be an understatement. He's an animal in his own right. Long-winded as hell. Stipe Miocic is going to retain.
Frank,
what do you think, Frank?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go Miocic. I think if this fight goes past the second round, I think Ngannou's chances of winning diminish greatly. And I think, like Eric said, it's gonna be a ground and pound game, so he won't be able to knock out Miocic very quickly because he won't be standing up because it would make no sense for him to do that. So I think Miocic wears him down and wins it in 4 or 5 rounds.
So it's been a long time since I've won a UFC fight.
It's been a while, Tyler. It's kind of bad.
We actually have to go all the way back to Calvin Kattar and Holloway.
Oh my God.
That was was a long
Was
pick.
this like you individually winning, or like two of
Yeah.
us getting the same pick right?
Me individually. You guys got
So you're the only one who wins, or like
yeah.
you being right in general.
No, because Eric had Holloway too, but
Okay, so you being right in general.
yes, because you guys both had Kamaru Usman a couple weeks ago, and I didn't. So, with that being said, I don't like the fact that Miocic is lighter than he was before. And like Eric said, I think it's going to make it harder for him to keep Ngannou down. I love the fact that Ngannou's just gone out there and slaughtered people after their last fight. I think, I think
Crazy.
It's inhumane how he's doing this.
yeah,
It's nuts.
I think he'll finish off. I think he'll go 5 for 5. I think he'll knock Miocic out first or second round.
That's what he's gonna need to do. Like I said, like if he goes past the second round, he's kind of screwed.
Hey, listen, he does have to get it done.
He has no stamina.
Because after that, then that's once you get into the championship rounds, and it's all Miocic, and it's game over. But I think Ngannou will get it done early. So I'm hoping.
So excited. This is a big fight.
Eric is so excited. Look at him, he's red. He's so excited.
I am.
Eric,
I'm blushing.
hoping.
Francis is so handsome.
I need one.
Yeah? Hey, man, I'll tell you what. We're saying he needs to finish him in the first or second round, which is true. However, you could hit Francis Ngannou, by the way, worth noting, off topic, but Francis Ngannou hits as hard as like an old Ford car going at its fullest speed. Like that's the equivalent of getting hit by Francis Ngannou, some kind of weird stat like that, worth noting. But you could like hit Ngannou with a truck. And you say, all right, 3 minutes, try to knock this guy out. He could knock someone out. So while his odds to win in the first or second round are far more likely, Stipe cannot lose focus for a second. This guy hits harder.
Oh, it takes one punch and he's done.
MMA history.
Yeah.
He could be winded in the fourth round or the fifth round, and he could still land that massive knockout. You never, ever sleep on Francis Ngannou. If someone's going to dethrone Miocic in this division, besides John Jones moving up, it's going to be Ngannou. He's such a threat. Ugh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right, well, let's go from the octagon to the dirt track. We got Bristol Dirt this weekend. First time in our lifetime that they raced on dirt. I think it's been upwards of 40-something years. That the
You said
NASCAR,
45 before?
I think it's something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
That the NASCAR Cup cars have gone to dirt. We've seen trucks on dirt in these past few years at Eldora, but Bristol is just a whole other monster. I was watching, they had practice sessions yesterday. They got heats today. And I mean, you see Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex, some of the best drivers in NASCAR just spinning out on the first lap they're taking. So
it's gonna be a mess.
I know we've said shot in the dark when we were talking about Daytona. I know we said shot in the dark when we were talking about the road course, and we saw that the guys who won those races were really shots in the dark. Did not expect them to win it at all. I think this is the biggest shot in the dark race maybe in NASCAR history.
Yeah, because there's absolutely no history here. Like none of these guys have ever raced on a dirt track.
And the guys
It's
that
been
have,
40 years.
And the guys that have experience on dirt with like late model cars or modified cars, they're not cup cars.
They're completely
like
different.
Go-karts. So you really have no idea who's going to win this. I would be very surprised if any of us got points off this race. So Frank, I'll start with you. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Alex Bowman. He finished yesterday second in the practice, and again, I don't want to take like a big name because no one really knows what's going to happen. So,
yeah.
Here you go, Bowman.
You have to factor in the fact that this is a short track, qualifies as a short track in our picks. So anybody that we pick for this race, we can't pick for any of the short tracks for the rest of the year. So there is that. So, Kirk, who you got?
Yeah, this is anyone's game, guys. Throw it at a dartboard, close your eyes, see what happens. Going bold, you're going bold. I'll say William Byron. Why not? He's looked good lately. He's gotten a win like semi-recently, I think. Has finished like within the top 10 recently. He's just racing well. It's the same thing. You enter a golf tournament, you're like, yeah, well, this guy's past 5 events, he's had some good golf, or this guy in baseball, he's got a swing going. He looks good. Quarterback, oh yeah, the arm it looks good. That wheel, man, it's great. The
Especially
car,
on this track, it's just like, what the hell's going on here?
those tires. I'm just gonna start naming parts of the car till it makes sense. William Byron's gonna win. Book it.
Definitely worth noting that I think it was like Wednesday or Tuesday. They did have an iRacing event on the Bristol dirt. Obviously, it's on a computer, but William Byron did win that race. So,
what the hell's iRacing?
it's
Like on the computer is iRacing?
yeah, it's like a video game.
Oh,
It's like
that's stupid.
Frank,
it's sim racing.
listen.
That's like me last year when March Madness got canceled and they ran one simulation of the March Madness tournament and Seton Hall won it, and I got excited. Like, who cares? It's stupid.
Yeah, listen, guys. You just got to understand, I'm just a little bit ahead of technology. That's what we can take.
No, but this is actually like
Technology's catching up to Eric. That's the thing.
Close.
Frank, this
Close.
is like video game. They're driving themselves.
That's stupid.
No, it's not.
It's a simulation. I don't see anything.
It's not a simulation. They're doing it themselves.
Yeah, but you're not on the track racing. I think it's
But it's
different.
like realistic.
No, I think it's different.
The game was built. It's not even like a game. The thing was built so that like these like NASCAR drivers, it was literally built because of the pandemic because they couldn't practice last year. So they had to build the game so that they can go out and like actually practice on tracks.
Listen, once you sit in that seat, you grip that wheel, it's completely different. There's nothing
You're
modified.
sitting in a seat gripping a wheel in an actual car.
Nah, it's different. It's different. Trust me, it's different.
How the fuck is it different?
You got to be on the dirt, Tyler. If it's not on the dirt, I don't care where it is. It could be in your mother's basement. I don't care.
All right, listen. I'm gonna go Kyle Larson. He's had some really good runs these last.
Talk about a hot in
Yeah.
the streets.
Talk about a hot driver. Won at Vegas.
God.
Should have won last week. Wherever the hell they were last week. Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Led 99% of the race and then lost in the last 3 laps at Atlanta. So, I'm gonna go Kyle Larson. I think he is the most experienced dirt driver in the field. He did have like last year when he got suspended for saying a bad word on iRacing, of course. He spent the entire year racing on dirt. So I think Kyle Larson is the most qualified for this race.
Your guess is as good as mine, Tyler.
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. He did run pretty well in the heats. I think he finished 4th or 5th. So he was definitely up there. But again, one of those guys where he's so experienced. Does he really need the heat races? He knows what he wants. So I think definitely the clear favorite, though. It'll be fun to watch. Because
It'll be interesting.
These guys will spin out in the first lap. And
Yeah.
never know what.
How many laps is it? I don't even know.
I think 250.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
250.
Well, it's a short track. I forgot. So.
Stages are 100, 150.
That should be fun. How many cautions? Over under 20.
Well, that's the interesting thing. That's the interesting thing too, because they're not doing. There's no green flag pit stops, so the only time you can come down.
Oh, you can only stop under caution.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only time you can come down and pit is if they're under caution, I think, or at the end of the stage, and you can't.
Yeah.
And apparently, you can't gain spots in pit road too. Like you
That
can't.
just seems dumb. Isn't that's part of being in pit road?
Yeah, I don't understand that part.
That's all dumb. Well, whatever. I don't make the rules.
Also, if you lose a tire, then you're allowed to come down and only replace that tire.
Oh, so you can't like lose a tire and then come down to pit row and then like
Yeah.
replace 3 tires?
You can
Okay.
only replace 1 tire.
That makes sense. The no switching spots is dumb to me. But I'm sure there's a reason, but it's still dumb.
I don't know. I mean, again, it's probably for lack of experience. So
I guess, but you should still be able to like use it to your advantage, you know?
I don't know. It'll be very fun to watch. That's for sure. As well as March Madness that we have going on right now, Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. That could be a different episode.
We'll talk about that next week because we'll have our Final Four by next week, and things will really start getting spicy in the college basketball world. Oregon State currently up 11.
Oh, that sucks. Come on.
Yeah, 11 minutes left.
Oh, that's
Very low.
Come on, Sister Jean.
Very low
Was
scoring.
it? I haven't looked at it. What's the
37
score?
to 26 with 11 minutes left.
How do you expect to win a game if you're scoring 26 points?
Listen, Krutwig is just not having a day. That's all.
Frank, I've seen the Knicks do it. The Knicks have scored like 17 points this year and won a game.
It's true.
The
They play the
defense-
Timberwolves. Hey, shout out to my Timberwolves yesterday. 22-0 run to end the game against the Rockets. Won the game. We're down 16 and won the
Frank,
game.
Are you telling me us three can't have a 22-0 win against the Rockets? Come on.
I know, but hey, it's
No.
positive.
Yeah. No, it is positive.
I think my
Tank for Cade. Tank for Cade.
Yeah, you guys will tank for Anthony Edwards. You'll tank for Cade, and you'll still finish last.
Why are you acting like you're on your high horse over here, Tyler?
I'm not. I'm on the high horse compared to the fucking Timberwolves.
Everyone's on the high horse compared to the Timberwolves. We're the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I know.
There you go.
I'm just surprised Eric's not
Come on, boys.
floating around.
Didn't trade Cat. Come on. Do something. It's like Mike Trout, but not as good.
Yeah.
Do something with Cat. I know he can't play defense, but
That'll do it for this week's episode. Go check out me and Frank's interview, with Sherwood Brown. That was a really fun episode to do. Obviously, part of that Florida Gulf Coast team that was made the Sweet 16 as a 15 seed, something that only Oral Roberts this year has done since.
ever.
So check that out. Like and subscribe as always, and we'll see you next week. Adios.